ThinkPad T60, Intel Centrino Duo. I just love the holiday classics, don't you? Alright guys, welcome back. Yes, in case you haven't figured it out already, this is a machine, a ThinkPad, that originally had Windows XP. Yeah, Windows XP. 32-bit, definitely outdated, definitely can't do much, but hey, it can run Linux, specifically MX Linux, and it actually does it quite well even with an old processor and not even an SSD drive. Believe it or not, such is the power, or as Arnold would say, that's the power of Linux. So anyway, I installed this MX Linux, you might recall, months ago. Admittedly, I have not used this laptop that much, really can't do much with it, although I kept this laptop because it has terrific left and right stereo speakers that put some modern laptops to shame, costing more money than this thing I paid for on I think I got this on eBay or on Amazon. I can't remember. Anyway, it wasn't that much. So as you see here, running MX Linux with simple screen recorder, yeah, I know it's not the zippiest, but that's not the fault of MX Linux. It's just an outdated machine. And before I forget, Tim, thank you for the wine. I am drinking wine. Thank you for the contribution to the channel. Yeah, I definitely need wine when I'm rendering videos on outdated computers like I have here in the basement in the rec room. Anyway, we're looking at the Synaptic package manager. This was my first exposure to a package manager back in 2006 with Ubuntu, which, God, is it almost 20 years ago? Yeah, I guess so. I knew nothing of package managers back then. Got used to this. It's not difficult to learn. Is it for beginners? Maybe not. But listen to Windows users. Don't be scared when installing something like this or Linux Mint or Zoner OS. You don't need to learn this or the terminal to install software. I've gotten used to the terminal, but it isn't necessary anymore. Alright, let's take a look at some frequently asked questions about MX Linux. Alright, so what I learned with this, it's not a rolling distribution, and you cannot do an in-place upgrade, at least none that I saw. So when a new version of Debian, I believe this is the Debian stable branch, and by the way, if you want stable Linux besides a Chromebook, I don't think there's anything more stable than Debian stable. Anyway, a new version comes out about every 2 years, and if you want to continue, you would have to reinstall the system, which erases everything. So make sure you back up all your videos, files, and private stuff and all that stuff, as it says here. If not, of course, everything will be erased. Yes, it can be a pain in the you-know-what, but that's how the system was designed, and that's perfectly fine. Can you use Flatpaks or snaps and app images? There is support for that, although I will say in my Lubuntu fresh install, app images did not work. It was missing a dependency. Now, if you are a Windows user, you won't have a clue to that. That's why, as a general rule, I try to stay away from app images, snaps, and Flatpaks because they can be somewhat unpredictable. But they do seem to work when I need them. Alright, I wanted something faster than Firefox. So I installed the Falcon web browser, and it is definitely faster than Firefox. Here we're looking at smoothjazz.com, contemporary jazz radio that I stream. This comes out of Monterey, Monterey, California. By the way, such a beautiful place, Monterey. By the way, I was there years ago. If anybody's watching from California, from Monterey, please do let me know. You live in a beautiful area. Alright, so I didn't do much customizations with this except to move the XFCE panel from the bottom to the top. A simple start button, start menu, drop down menu. I think this is called the whisker menu. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what it's called. Hang on while I take another quick sip of wine. Alright, this has something called Conky. You see the clock there, which you can turn that on or off. I think it's a silly name, but it works. So I do like the on-screen graphics on this. The task manager. Yeah, the CPU is humming at 100%. Super hot. It's using less than 1 gig of RAM with the recorder running. That is impressive, man. ThinkPads just rock. They are the Lexus of laptops. So what about the software, all of the software installed in this? I think this has everything you need to get started. Here we're looking at the MX package manager. Again, this wasn't built for fancy looks or aesthetics. It's just meant to get you moving. So by category, we're looking at the browser. I did install Falcon web browser. I wanted something faster than Firefox. I don't know why, but it seems like Firefox has gotten slow. It's even slower in my Ubuntu. It's slower than Brave and Chrome, and I'm not sure why. Am I doing something wrong? I don't know. Anyway, with the package manager, I did not enable any testing repositories that did not enable testing repos because I did not want to break anything on this wonderful, lightweight MX Linux distribution. If you wanted something lighter, you can try something called Antics. I did like the looks of that. Anyway, with this I installed a Strawberry music player and a few other things. I think I installed BleachBit. Or maybe that was installed by default. I can't remember. Here's the MX cleanup tool, similar to using BleachBit, I think. Appearance settings, you can change this to your heart's content. Again, I didn't do any desktop customizations except to move the panel from the bottom to the top. I do love the ability to right-click on a desktop and do more things, and some Linux-based systems don't even have that ability. Boo! But this one does it quite well. Here we open up the terminal, and with the terminal, by the way, I do love the transparency effect on this, and I have a feeling if I shut the transparency effect off, this may run even faster. But I kind of like the way it looks, and once again, I don't really use this that much. I don't use this for video rendering or streaming. I don't think I can stream on this one. OBS Studio would not install because of an outdated processor, but that's okay. Anyway, we have here the CPU is a Intel T2400 at 1 gigahertz. Ooh, maxed out at 3 gigs of RAM with the AMD ATI Mobility Radeon X1300. Sounds Terminator-ish. The good old days when things were simpler, right? So, anyway, I'm not going to ramble anymore as I'm drinking wine. Again, Tim, thank you for the wine. MX Linux works. I revived two ThinkPads, two 32-bit ThinkPads with this darn thing called MX Linux. Such is the power of Linux. So, yeah. This works if you have older machine laying around, or even a new machine for that matter. MX Linux just works. I think I did good, guys. What do you think? Did I do good? I think so. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.